So we do the gradient from the whole person.
No. There's a different one.
To get it.
Well, this one you don't need to get it. You've already given it.
Yes, that would do it though.
You'll need to use that. Alright. So we're going to look at everything out of our hands. Everything's out of our hands. The iPads are face down, eyes up. We're going to look at two examples of determining a linear equation for a parallel or perpendicular line. The process is exactly the same for both scenarios. It's just the information we're given is a little bit different and we have to apply a different formula. We've already seen that the gradient of parallel lines is equal, correct? And the gradient of perpendicular lines is equal to -1 divided by the original gradient. You happy with that? Combining that with our understanding of linear equations, y equals mx plus c, where m is our gradient. How do we find our gradient there? What's the equation? Rise over run, and our c value is what? Thanks, Bailey. Our c represents our? I don't know, maybe one can help you out.
6.
In this scenario, yes, it's 6, but what does that represent?
Oh, the white.
Line is set very good. So if we understand those things, we're in a good position. The only other thing I've got on the board is, what's the only other thing I've got on the board that I haven't explicitly stated so far? We've been through y equals mx plus c, we've been through parallel and perpendicular gradients, we've been through calculating a gradient. Why would I need to know that? Why would I need to know about reverse, bombast, opposite operations? Whilst everything's out of our hands and we're paying attention. Why would I need to know about reverse, bombast, and opposite operations? What's that used for? Finding an unknown, rearranging, correct? So, for the first one, what do I know about that function? Do I know anything about the original function? What's the original function? What is it? Yeah, I've got a negative gradient, correct? So I've got a function with a negative gradient. I need a line that is parallel to that. So what do I need to find first of all? What's the first thing I need to find in question 1? Of what lines? How do I find the gradient in my second one? By finding? What's the gradient of the second line going to equal? The gradient of the parallel line is going to be the same as the gradient of the original line, correct?
Yeah.
So I need to find the gradient of my original line. How do I do that? What's the equation? M equals rise over run. What's my rise? So the gradient of my original line is -2. Do I need to know anything else about my original line? Do I care about the c value of my original line or not? I don't care at all. I just want to know what my gradient is, correct? So now with my parallel line, I know that I've got the equation y equals -2x plus c. Question 1. So what else do I know about this parallel line? I know it's got a gradient of -2. What else do I know? Jake, tell me what else I know about this. Do I know anything else? Read the question carefully and tell me what I know. No idea. What information is in the question?
Determine the equation of the line parallel to the one below that passes.
Okay, so you've dealt with the parallel component. What do I need to know now? I know the gradient. Do I know anything else about that line? I know an x and y value. What x and y value do I know? I know that when x equals 1, y equals. So what do I do now? Ryan, what do you reckon I should do? Sub those values in. So I get -2 equals 1 times -2 plus c. What's 1 times -2? -2. How do I get rid of -2? Plus 2. What's c going to equal? Does Make sense? If we follow that through, wouldn't
Oh, beautiful.
that be an appropriate line? So, have I answered the question yet? How should the question finish up? What should the form be? What should the final answer be? Tell me what's the right thing. Do I need to write plus 0? So I can just write that, but am I completely correct, or do I need to maybe pick something up? Very good. That's my final answer. Y equals negative 2x. So just to recap you through what we did there, what did we use the original line to find? The only thing we used the original line to find? The gradient. From that point on, what were we determining? The C value. And how do we determine the C value? How many unknowns do we have here? How many do we have there? 3. How many do we want? 1. So we need to get rid of 2 of those unknowns when we use the information in the question, correct? This is actually easier. Why is it easier? What were the first 3 lines of my working in question 1? They will determine the gradient of my original line, correct? Do I need to do that here? I know that my gradient equals negative 1 and 2. The only challenge is that now it's not parallel, but. So we're going to do exactly the same thing here. We just need to find a different gradient. Sweet, I'll let you have a think on that.
So,
Yep.